came today to DEFCO of the European Union to give presentations on insects as food and feed, as potential protein sources for the future, during a lunch meeting here in this building of the European Union. The production of protein through insects, so in the form of insects, is environmentally more sustainable by far than compared to the traditional production animals like chicken, cattle, pigs, etc. The efficiency of conversion of food to body mass of insects is higher, much higher than traditional production animals. One reason is a simple, let's say, biological reason, that is that insects do not keep their body temperature at a certain minimum level, so they don't combust a lot of energy to keep their body temperature at a constant level, whereas all the traditional production animals do. And so maintaining this basic metabolism at a certain minimum level is, and the dissipation of heat and the production of carbon dioxide that is associated with that makes insects more efficient at growing. I suppose it will take at least 10 years for human food acceptance to have, let's say, certain insect products, insect snacks or so on the market. On the other hand, if the insect protein is worked into already commonly accepted food items, like the products that we have been eating today, only, for example, 20 or 30% of the contents was from insects. The others were, for example, from chicken meat or so. So you can also think about replacing the traditional meat partly and not fully. For feed, on the other hand, so animal feeding, the acceptance might come much sooner. Then it's mostly dependent on the economic advantages of using insects. There is a lot of potential if we can reduce the costs of producing insects substantially. So that means there needs to be invested in mechanization or automation of insect production. Now the labor costs in the insect production facilities that are out there in Europe and many places, but they're all small companies and that do not produce more than a few hundred kilograms a week or something like that. And so if you really want to make a difference also for sustainable food production, then you have to think about hundreds of tons a week at any factory or so that produces insects. That's a big jump, a big leap, of course, to take. Legislation or regulations are at the moment certainly a barrier. Now insects have been branded as novel food. And of course, I mentioned already the reduction of costs of insect production needs to be tackled as well. That is another important issue that is outstanding. But apart from that, I don't see any. I mean, some of the insect products are really very close to market. So it's not like that we need tens of years of research to make this realistic or so. All the species that are available in Europe, not all of them are indigenous in Europe. Like the black soldier fly is an American species, so it's exotic in a sense. The black soldier fly has the advantage that it's not a nuisance fly. It's not interested in human dwellings at all, whereas houseflies, by definition, because their name, enter our houses and they try to find food there. Black soldier flies don't. So they have some advantages, and apart from that, they are more versatile in accepting all kinds of substrates for food, all kinds of deteriorating substrates, more so than houseflies. So, yeah, and I mean, there is of course a huge potential for finding other insect species that may be even more interesting. There are more than 1 million described insect species, and it is likely that there are species out there that we are not aware of that could serve a very useful purpose.